back at Sidebar with Bruce Klafter. He is the Vice President of Corporate, Social, and Environmental Responsibility for Flex. So Flex, I know Flex because I used to cover technology, but you're a global force in contract manufacturing. What should sustainability teams know about your company and your commitment to taking action on climate change? Because if you're their partner, that makes a difference.
Yeah, I think our program is really based around collaboration with our customers. So many of them today are looking at their supply chains from end to end, and we're one of their key partners right up the tier one of the supply chain. So we're working on a variety of projects ranging from very simple data gathering to energy efficiency to renewables in some cases. And we're trying to apply what we learned from them back into the rest of our operations as well. So we're learning from one another. When
you talk about supply chain, because this is this huge issue for the companies here, and that's sort of the final phase, if you will, how do you engage with your different clients in order to help them with their own supply chain ambitions?
Well, a lot of work that we do is one-on-one with key customers who reach out to us. We're always pleased to do that. That's probably the biggest driver of our sustainability programs, namely customer pull and push. But the other thing that we do is we get a lot of leverage from the industry associations and partnerships that we're contributing to. So most notably, the Responsible Business Alliance. We were a founding member of that 14, 15 years ago. They now have both a Responsible Minerals Initiative focusing on responsible sourcing of raw materials all the way upstream in the supply chain, as well as the Responsible Labor Initiative, where we're looking very closely at how to eradicate forced labor in the electronic supply chain. So we see most of our major customers in those initiatives as well, but there's something about collective action that I think is not achievable one-on-one.
So achieving a circular economy is going to require radical changes to how products are designed and made. What investments has Flex made in helping move to that world?
I think we're very well equipped to work on circular economy concepts with our customers. It requires them, in the first instance, to consider whether or not their business models can change. It requires know-how from companies like ours to help them enable those achievements. So today we do a lot of repair and refurbishment work, and in some cases actually take back of the product's end of life, and then we partner with other companies to responsibly disassemble them, harvest the raw materials, and so on. What I would like to see is more work with our customers up at the front end on the design of the products to make it easier to disassemble, to make it easier to reuse components, and hopefully to prolong the useful life of the devices themselves. So I think the opportunities are tremendous, and we're seeing a lot more interest from customers today.
You mentioned some of the initiatives that you're working on with respect to responsible supply chains. I'm curious, what sort of technologies are you using for traceability? I know blockchain has been something that held up as one possibility. I'm sure there's digitalization in general. Is there anything that you're investing in that is helping with your traceability on those issues?
There are a couple of things that we've done up till now, and that involves tracking of individual devices. We were initially doing that with RFID tags being attached to the devices, so in some cases these would be commercial office equipment and so on. We could actually track each and every unit of the goods to the end of life and then back into one of our facilities for disassembly. Today we're also looking at IoT-enabled devices that might be attached to equipment, but might also be used to track shipments in the logistics phase of the operation as well. In terms of blockchain, we're part of a consortium organized by IBM and some others looking at trying to establish the credibility of all the supply chain partners whom we work with. That's very early days. Blockchain is going to be one of several technologies that's going to be employed, so we think it has a lot of promise.
Yeah, I'd love to ask, you mentioned before about really changing how products are manufactured originally so that they're easier to repair, that they don't break down as quickly. How can companies get involved to really push that forward, knowing that other companies are also the reason that that isn't happening right now?
Well, I think in some cases we have to show them the possibilities. That's where I think we have some unique capability, because we help them engineer the manufacturing of the products. We can effectively reverse engineer it to see where the potential opportunities lie in that process. The other thing I mentioned earlier, the business model, is I think companies have to rethink how they merchandise, price, and sell their goods, because unfortunately in some instances there's sort of planned obsolescence. Companies and their business models are based around the next iteration of the device, capturing the marketplace again, enticing consumers, and so on. We see fewer devices today that have a long, useful life. Particularly these are entertainment, consumer devices, and so on. We need to start rethinking some of that paradigm with our customers.
When you think about that issue, and we're talking about consumers as well. I mean, what are you doing to help your customers get that mindset into the consumers as well? Like, so the person that buys that device, and how, there's responsibility on the behalf of the producer, but also on behalf of the consumer. Are you involved in that?
Well, to some extent. We don't have a lot of direct contact with the end consumer ourselves, but what we do have is the ability to bring insights across various industries to our customers. So we can talk to our medical device customers about what technologies and developments we're seeing in automotive. We can talk to our consumer companies about what we're seeing in networking and so on. And that's somewhat unique, because innovation is not confined to those sectors, and we can enlighten them as to what others are doing and potentially open their eyes to some possibilities. And we've been very successful in some instances in doing that, whether it's the material choices, whether it's the design choices, whether today, for instance, we're looking very hard at plastics and the plastic sourcing and choices that are made from one industry to the next.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us at Sidebar. Really, you got me thinking, so thank you. I think I'm
pleasure.
calling for some stories afterwards.
Very good.
So thank you so much. We're going to a commercial break, but we have 2 more interviews coming up. The first one is with Yuan Global Compact in a moment.